Now, as a fan of the show, you said something interesting that you've never said, I think, publicly. You really think you could never work with Jackie again?
Yeah, I can't go through the agita where.
But don't you think maybe he has grown, maybe too, in a way?
No way. Well, how would he grow?
I don't know. Maybe
guy's 60 fucking years old. You don't grow at 60.
He's like you, Artie. He kicked it without getting any help.
Right. Jackie's a great guy. I love him. I'm telling you, I was brokenhearted when he left. I was like, wow, we have so much fun together. But then,
Howard was really the reason Jackie lasted as long as he did.
Yeah, I'd go in and fight for him all the time and sit him down and go, man, you got a good thing here. What are you doing? You're getting good money on stand-up. You're getting good money here.
People had to think. I mean, the show was so good. People thought people didn't want him there, or it was just like a money thing with him. He would always,
there was more to it. Everyone in the company who makes major decisions said, we want him out of here.
Really?
Oh, at every contract negotiation, they said, we don't want him here. Because we can't, we like the guy, but we can't take it. I said, look, he's important to the show. He's integral to the show.
Oh, you mean the negotiating part?
The negotiating.
But they had to admit the show was great.
Oh, it wasn't about his performance on the show.
Right.
It
was, it was never about performance.
Howard, I don't want to
negotiator.
I don't want to get you all riled up, but there was also another thing, Artie. There was a lot of stuff that went on off the air that you didn't see that would rankle Howard. Every single thing that we did that involved Jackie became difficult. If we were going to do another show, if we were going to produce something, everything, like Jackie would always...
His negotiations with Eve, you have to turn the light off sometimes.
Whether it was credits, and okay, that's his thing and everything.
Yeah, it just upset me.
And then the other thing, he had a way of saying things. Like, we know that you love Howard, and we never hear anything weird, but he had a way of saying things to people that he knew would sort of somehow filter back to Howard that were negative.
Yeah,
and Howard would always hear...
And then he would get a hold of everyone and start to, start trouble, and... It was tough, it was tough for me.
He created
and I get kind of upset, tumult, and it would just be upsetting, and it was just like, I didn't get into this, but and then I kind of sat down and did an intervention on myself and went, I started in this business alone, and I know I can do this, Right. I got a great team around me. I got Fred, I got Robin, I got Gary, I got Benji, I got all kind of people. I said, I'm a pretty capable guy. I can do this. I don't need to struggle to keep this whole thing together. If need be, I'll just go off and, if I can't make it without Jackie, then maybe then Jackie will go make it by himself. I don't know. It just couldn't. And it couldn't.
Well, I tried to tell you that for years.
You did.
And it finally gets to the point where you're saying, I could work alone.
It took 3 tries.
Right.
It took 3 tries.
Robin used to hate when I would buckle to Jackie and sort of like try to work with him. She hated it.
And Artie, it took 3 tries on Jackie's behalf to get Howard to where he was. The first time Howard stood up for him, the second time Howard stood up for him, the third time it got to be a bit much. And as much as Howard will break our balls and boss, he doesn't like to get rid of people. And Jackie forced his hand, and I know you struggled with not saving him the third time.
I couldn't believe the guy was going to commit career suicide. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is he doing?
But he did inform him a year before it all started. Look, Jackie, this is it.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not going to do it again.
And you kept reminding him every few months, and I've never seen you be that serious.
No, I know.
And I still can't believe, to this day, that he would just like listen to that and then not heed that advice.
Well, you know what? I don't think he believed me. And I also think that he had worked himself into a frenzy that he was miserable and all this other stuff. And then when it all went away, he went, wow, I had a good thing going on. It wasn't that much of a wall-breaking situation.
Quite honestly, I think he'd made enough money and, he didn't have to do it anymore.
See, but he misses the excitement.
Once again, he does say that he couldn't get used to the schedule.
Well, you know what? Neither can I.
And Howard, I don't know if you remember, but I remember there was a weekend where you and I spoke the whole weekend where you sort of came to the realization that Jackie wasn't coming back, and you had to make the decision. Remember, we decided we're going to have Ron Zimmerman come in and sit in on the show, and I had to go book him a ticket overnight. And when you making that decision was
closing the
door. And I remember how hard that was for you. Like, it wasn't enjoyable.
It was killing me.
It hurt you.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, wow, we got a good team, and he's committing. I couldn't, it's like watching a guy jump off a building. You don't want to do that.
I don't want to bring up the Beatles.
Yeah, but I'll get it.
What was that? Remember that letter?
I'm going to go to Hollywood and write. Like, I'm just going to, he's not even going to write scripts. I'm going to punch up scripts. I'm like, well, who's looking for you to punch up their script? But he said, believe me, I can do it. I can do whatever I want. When you met me, I was just starting out, and I could have done a lot of things if I didn't do this show. Oh.
Wasn't he way older than you?
Yeah, and he was also working bachelor parties.
And he was just starting out?
I don't know.